Okay, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time that this video meets you or you get to open it. And we are going to focus on the introduction of new features and productivity enhancements in our course, the 14 features in MS Excel. So we are just going to quickly look at dynamic arrays as the first functions. Then later on we're going to close up with X lookups. Now let's just quickly look at our module and just try to familiarize ourselves with our module. Under dynamic arrays, we are going to look at the sort, filter, unique, sequency, and random array. Then thereafter, we're going to look at the other set that is in another set, which is VLOOKUP. We'll look at its syntax, some examples, comparisons with VLOOKUP and H lookups. Then we look at advantages of X lookup over VLOOKUP and the what's this and the H lookup. This is it's more like the total number of pages for this particular module is just 7. They're just 7, including the assessment part, where it talks about the type of assessment that you take in this particular module. Now, without wasting much of our time, let us just quickly look at our learning objectives. By the end of this module, you may need to understand and apply new dynamic features. So we need to use XLOOKUP for advanced searching. Then we need to improve formula management using let function. And the topics that are there have already been mentioned. We'll go straight into dynamic arrays. So dynamic arrays allow Excel formulas to retain multiple values automatically. Unlike the traditional formulas that retain a single value in one cell, dynamic arrays can spew results into adjacent cells without needing to be manually copied. So now, this significantly improves efficiency when working with lists, sorting, and filtering data dynamically. So we are going to focus on the sort. Under dynamic array, we are going to focus on the four. We mentioned five different functions. We'll start with the sort function. And the sort function arranges data in either ascending or descending order. That's what we know. So we can specify which column to sort by whether the sorting should be ascending, which is a 1, representing for ascending, and descending, which is a -1. Let us dive into our Excel table, and we are going to perform this where we're going to do our dynamic array. This is the data set that I have for you today, and we are going to do the first one. We are going to do is the sort. So I'll just be labeling them up there. Let's use the sort. Okay, sort. So in order for us to get into this function, we are going to type the formula as equals. Every function should start with an equal to sign. So say sort. What are we sorting? Okay, just double click there. The array, we will mark from this point up to the last point, up to down there. So we want to sort that particular array, comma, then the column we need to specify now the sort index, the column that we want to sort. What column are we going to sort? So sort the column for salary, and column for salary, we count the columns that we have highlighted. So we have column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. So here it will be 4, comma, then what will be the return value, ascending or descending? We want to put them in descending, starting from the largest to the smallest. So we're going to do -1. Then we close, and boom, starts from the top person. So the best person who gets paid a lot of money is this Grace from finance department, blah blah blah, up to down there. We can also try to sort using the alphabet from the lowest to the highest. So we're going to change and use column number 2. Okay, column number 2 has been sorted from Z to A. That is column number 2. So this is how we can be able to perform our sort function in this dynamic array. So one thing that you need to understand is that ordinarily when you just want to do certain things as fast as you can, functions plays a very vital role. Let's move on to the next function, which is the filter function. Okay, the filter function, so I'll type filter. Great. So the filter function, we'll type it is equals filter, open bracket. Then our array is from this column to the other column. That's what we want to focus on. Then when we pick the array, we will need to specify which column and what type of condition do we want to get. So filter specifies the condition. If we look at it, we would want to specify a certain condition so that it dynamically updates the results when the source or the source of data is changed. So here we are going to pick which one, the IT. Yeah, so that is the IT is in C2 to C9. Okay, to C9, and we want data that is equal to IT. Then we close, close. It will display these guys that are equal to IT. These are the only ones. If we change this guy who's in finance, let's take for instance, we put IT here, then we do this. Automatically it will update this particular guy called David on this other side. If also this one is updated to be IT, it will keep on updating just like that. This is how this function is used. So you can just return these other guys. Okay, where are they? So I would want you to be seeing all the way. Let me just type finance. Okay, we need another finance here. Finance. Okay, here is the finance. Again, it has updated here. This one has been removed. So if we want here again, we can be able to update another one. This is how better the filter function works. So it will automatically be updating your data changes. Once you make changes to your data here, automatically the sort will update, automatically filter is going to update, and we are going also to look at the unique unique function. Okay, with the unique function, the function removes duplicates. It only picks or returns a list of distinct values from the specified range. So we just want it to bring a distinct list from the department. That's where we have some duplicate of IT. So we are going to type the formula is equal to, okay, the formula is equal to unique unique. Okay, it has come here, unique, and we want to highlight it there. Then we just close. Just want unique values to be displayed. Here is only IT. If we add here and let's take for instance we add the Department of Education. Just say education. Meaning all along this side it will update. It will bring values for education there and it will delete one value for IT. Fix in Frank here has been switched to education automatically. Okay, I've brought him back. We are done with the unique. If anything unique, we just mark the range and remove some duplicate and see the ones that have been countable. And automatically when your data source, when your data set is changed, then everything is going to change on the other side. Let's go with the sequencing. Okay, with the sequencing, which data am I going to use? Which data am I going to use? Okay, sequencing. Let's go. Sequencing. So with the sequencing function, we discovered says the function that generates an array of sequential numbers with control over rows, columns that are starting, excuse me, rows and columns um, with the control over rows, columns starting with the value and set up the size. So now, how does this occur? So with the sequence, we can say equals sequencing. The predefined formula is going to come here. Then what do we want? We want a sequencing which will reach up to 10 rows. We just want about 10 rows. And in these 10 rows, we want to have only want to have two columns, or let me say one column for example, with the minimum starting at 2. Then the difference in between, or the sequence in between the numbers, should be 2 as well. Then we close. Automatically it is going to give you a sequence in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That is how now the sequence works. The moment you change your data, you say you would want it to have two different columns. It will put it in 2 different columns. It will keep going. It will keep going until your last digit. It will depend with the number of columns that you've stated. If we want again, we can change there. Put how many columns? Let's put three columns. Okay. Oh, not 3. I changed the wrong value. I wanted to start at 2, but to have 3 columns. Okay. So it will go just like that. So this is how sequencing is used. Let us look at the last one, but not the least. Random numbers. What is a random array? Okay. Random array comes from the word random. So when we talk about randomly, certain things happen in a random situation, meaning it just picks random certain values. So with the random function, it generates an array of random numbers within a specified range. It creates both decimal and whole numbers. So when you talk about the difference, how we can differentiate random numbers is in this way. The formula goes as the random array, not random array, rand array. Thereafter, what do you want to do? We want to have at least five, we'll say five random whole numbers between, so we'll say comma, the numbers, it says between 1, that's the column number, and we want it to start from 1, and we want the maximum value to be 100. Then we only want integers. If we want integers, we'll use the term true. If we want decimals, we'll use the term false. Let's just quickly look at how it is going to come out. Okay, let's move on. These are the 5 random numbers from 1 to 100. So now, if we want to have decimal numbers, we said we just gonna change here and put false, just to indicate the term false. It will give us decimal numbers. This is how the dynamic arrays work, and all in all, you will get to know that they'll just make your work so smart and faster. You create automations on time. Let's take, for instance, you're looking at sales, and these sales are being done every day, and you just want to filter quickly. You can't start filtering here there, but if you set these predefined formulas on time, depending on the data, because if we just the data here, let's look at what these will have all errors, calculation errors, of which I will show you how to just leave a blank space when there is a calculation error there. So when we return them back, when we make changes here, let's take for instance this one goes to another department, then automatically this will be improved. Thank you for being with us. See you in the next video as we are going to look at XLOOKUP. Please follow our videos, share, and at the same time, remember to subscribe. If you would want to give us just a cup of tea to appreciate our works in improving whatsoever you are doing, you are free to use the numbers that are in the description below. Thank you and God bless you. Bye bye.